All right, cool. We are recording. So, welcome everybody to this is a very special webinar that something that's kind of been discussed really since last week at the national event, but something that has also come up really just a lot of discussion in the last couple of days. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to really get you guys all the facts. Okay, so you guys had all the information, and you guys know really what's going on. And that's what's super cool about this. And for those of you that were at the national event, which as I can see from the attendance is a lot of you, which is good. But for those of you guys that were not at the national event, obviously, period, end of story, plain and simple. You guys, you missed a lot. There's a lot of just really, really awesome value and just a great opportunity for you guys to just learn and take in all the information that was there, but just really just an amazing time. And I can tell you, if you read any of Joel's posts that he had done or any of the stuff that he had talked about on the webinars, there was definitely a couple times where there wasn't a dry eye in the house because the room was just filled with so much emotion, passion, people really caring about each other, about their business and everything. So just an amazing time. But one of the last things that was talked about at the very end of the conference was a platform that Tissa had mentioned, something called 10X Blogger. Now, this is a blogging platform that basically what's going to happen is anytime Joel creates content, whether it be a Facebook Live, whether it be a webinar, whether it be an email, whatever it is, anytime that Joel or Now Lifestyle creates content, it's going to go to a blog. And basically, guys, a blog is a fancy word for saying like a website, all right? So what is already created, and we should be able to show you guys this tonight, is there's an actual Now Lifestyle blog, and it's going to be just packed with value, training, education, a place that people can go to just get information about Now Lifestyle. And you are going to have the opportunity to have your own hard-coded link to this blog. So that way when people go to this blog and they check it out or they want to be part of this and they want to, more information, to get more information about Now Lifestyle, you're going to be able to get signups from this blog, which is going to be really, really cool. So let me don't mind me, I'm just double checking the attendance, seeing who's here. So this blog is going to be very, very, very powerful because it's going to provide a lot of content to it's going to provide a lot of content to a lot of people, which is going to be really, really awesome. Now, the other part here is I also want you guys to realize that if people want to become part of this blog, if people want to get into this blog and be able to use this blog, because this blog, plain and simple, is going to be another income stream inside of Now Lifestyle. So you have the autoresponder, you have the conference software, you have NLS University. This is going to be another income stream that is available to you. And the cool part is you can earn $500 direct paid commissions to you. I mean, direct paid right to your PayPal account, meaning that it doesn't go into Now Lifestyle and then you get it 1 month later. If somebody signs up, if you're in the blog rotator and you want to be part of this blog, then you can get $500 commissions instantly, like right then, right in your PayPal account right then. But now what's I'm really, really excited about is to be working with this guy that I'm about to bring on board, a man by the name of Tissa Godavattarni. And Tissa, for those of you guys that don't know, I actually met him first about a year ago in Cabo, and super, super amazing, awesome guy, very, very, very sharp. But he's been marketing. If you guys didn't hear his story live at the NLS event last week, he's been marketing online, I think full-time since around 98 or 99. He can share that with you. But this guy has made over $6 million online. So please pay very, 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 very close attention to what he's going to share with you tonight, because if you want the opportunity, again, if you want the opportunity to earn $500 direct commissions, if you want to be part of this blogging platform that, in my opinion, plain and simple, and I'm just going to be brutally honest with you here, we need this for Now Lifestyle. Now Lifestyle needs a blog where we can send people to get great content, great information. And that's one of the things that Tissa specializes in. He specializes in blogging, and he also specializes in helping people earn money with blogs, because he's built huge, like mega huge, amazing teams through other businesses and by using a blogging platform. So I'm very, very excited about this. And lastly, and we'll just kind of tease this one for now, for those of you guys that are in Funnel X, we're also going to kind of give you a little golden nugget of how this blogging platform and Funnel X are going to be potentially a combo deal, which could be, yet again, even more and more and more money for you. So without further ado, Tissa, man, why don't you come up and share with everybody a little bit about 10X Blogger and how, everybody here kind of has the inside edge, man. I think this is really, really cool.
Awesome, Daniel. Thank you, my friend. Is my video working here?
I got no video. I do have sound, though. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
When I click on start video, it says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
Oh, whatever. All right. I'm going to make you the host.
Okay.
So you can activate your video, and then you can just flip the host back to me.
Okay. I will do my best to follow those instructions. All right. I probably should have brushed my hair, I realize now, before I did this.
But, I think one thing I want to share with everybody just before you kind of give everyone, really what's going on is I want you guys all to know right now that everybody here that's watching this right now, you officially have the inside edge. Plain and simple, you guys have the inside edge, and you guys are hearing about this way before the rest of Now Lifestyle, because you're literally going to be able to position yourself for a very good success. Sorry, I know, Tissa, I'm stealing your thunder, but go ahead.
No, I continue because you're absolutely right. Well, first of all, Daniel, thank you for the very kind words at the top of this. I really appreciate that. And this is the first time you and I are doing a joint webinar. Of course, we met way back in Cabo. I was impressed by you then, and knowing what I now know, I'm even more impressed by your leadership and the team that you have built around you. So my hat is off to you and anyone and everyone who's watching this. You're in the right place with Daniel. I mean, there's no doubt about it. His results speak for themselves. So take his advice. Well done, Daniel. What Daniel just said about being in the right place, like right now, having the inside scoop on this, is not an exaggeration, because those of you who were at the Now Lifestyle event in San Antonio, you heard me speak just for a few minutes because we ran out of time, and so we didn't have a lot of time to really get this out there. And then I'm not sure what Daniel already mentioned, but this will be officially released as a product in the Now Lifestyle back office. And Joel and I will be doing a webinar in the very near future. We actually have a fixed date for that. None of that has yet been publicized. You haven't heard about that yet. So when Daniel says that those of you who are here have the inside scoop on this, that's no exaggeration. You really, really do. And I will say that there have been, a handful of orders so far, but those have really been from people who were paying very close attention and kind of went digging and, clicked on that and clicked on this and found out this and found out that. And so this is the first webinar that I am doing regarding this. Literally the first webinar I'm doing regarding this with you folks and Daniel. So it's great to be here. I don't know where to start. I mean, just very quickly, like Daniel said, I mean, I've been in the business of affiliate marketing and network marketing since 1999. Over $6 million in verifiable income that I personally have earned. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that the way I've always done that is by building systems. I'm a huge believer in systems. A lot of folks ask, what is the secret to success? And there are no secrets, in my opinion. There are systems, and there are systems that work to automate, to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And that really has been the key to my success and a lot of my team members. And I by no means have pioneered this concept. I mean, if you kind of look at folks who have really done far better and been far more successful than I have been. What you will always find is that they have a system that they're using, that their team members can use, that's simple, that's easy, that really generates a lot of duplication. But it has to be a powerful system, and it has to do something that is really, really important. It has to solve a really, really important problem or need, and it has to do so effectively, right? And so I've been, blogging has been a huge part of my success. But, Daniel and I were talking, earlier today, and he asked me a very good question, and he said, so you're a blogger, right? So you do like a lot of blogging? And I was like, no, I hate blogging. I don't do any blogging. I think I literally can count the number of blog posts I have manually written on one hand. And that was like years ago for another company that really emphasized the importance of blogging. Some of you may know the company, but they were all about a blogging platform. But yet it was so hard for people to blog because no one likes to blog. I mean, for the most part, blogging can be a real pain in the arse because it takes a lot of time. You have to sit down and think about what you're going to write. You have to write it well. It has to be original, compelling, unique. It has to be properly formatted. You need your calls to action. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and that's after you've mastered WordPress. So there's a lot of overhead when it comes to blogging and doing it effectively, and yet the fact is that blogging, and when I'm talking about blogging, I'm talking about having really an authority site that is rich in content that people are drawn to, that they come to because they want to learn more about what you are about, what you're selling, what value are you sharing with them. If you can do that, if you can pull that off, the reality, and this was going to be in one of my slides in San Antonio, which you'll see at some point, but the reality is that there are a lot of very real people making a lot of money monthly blogging. And I had some extreme examples, folks who are, making six figures, literally. In fact, I just got an email. Michelle Gardner is her name. I just got an email from her today, and she was sharing how last month, she does this every month, and she documents her earnings. And last month, she cleared over $100,000 from blogging. And it's just crazy how many people are out there doing this, and you've probably run across them. They blog about all sorts of things, from recipes to finance to travel, and they're making money blogging. And the way they're doing it, that's what's really important, is they're starting out with providing great value and content, but then they're monetizing that content with any of the following. It could be ads, it could be affiliate relationships with other companies, it could be sponsored posts. I mean, there are all sorts of ways to make money with or to monetize a blog. And what we are talking about here today is a blog that you will have that is monetized by Now Lifestyle. And of course, by that I mean your Now Lifestyle link. Right, so you out of the box, you have this blog which has almost 2,000 posts, almost 500 videos, all by the man himself, Joel Therien. And think about the value that he brings to the table. Think about all the content he's constantly putting out there. Well, all of that content is on this blog that is personalized, that is branded to you, and then we curate content from elsewhere around the web that has to do with health and wellness. We create our own content. We make posts of our own content, and all of this becomes your content on your blog. The goal here is that you become an authority figure. So when your leads come in, whether they're the Facebook leads or guaranteed paid signups or wherever you're getting your leads from, when they flow to you, you want to point them towards your blog, because that becomes your opportunity to become an authority, to brand yourself. Whenever Joel makes a post on Facebook, in fact, just today, he did what did he do? I think he put a video out there, Daniel, or a live stream or something.
Yeah,
like
well,
that.
he was it was more kind of appreciation for the NLS event and how he was just overwhelmed with emotion.
Right, exactly. And if you go to the blog right now, guess what? That Facebook post that he made, that was turned into a blog post with that video. That blog post was sent out as an email follow-up to your leads with a call to action, promoting your Now Lifestyle link, bringing them back to the blog, where once again, the call to action is your Now Lifestyle link. It's a relevant call to action based on the content. It's this massive content machine that's all about follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. It sends out the follow up emails for you. It has so much content and value that your prospects, your leads follow up with you in reverse, coming back to the blog because they want to learn more. They want to keep, soaking up all this value that you're offering. It's a massive content machine that's designed to drive conversions and ultimately commissions. In a nutshell, that's what it is. It's hugely powerful. It really is.
So I guess, Tissa, why don't you just kind of explain a little bit about how it's going to work, so that way, because I want everybody here, I always, for the last 18 months really, I've always tried to give my team a little bit of an inside edge, and that's really just been through the process of developing my relationship with Joel, and like having him in our Skype group and having him in our Facebook group. And I know he obviously respects our team because we have a lot of players on our team. We have a lot of really smart people that are action takers, and a lot of folks on our team were at the event, representing Six Figure and 3LE and so many other teams. So maybe just talk a little bit about kind of that inside edge that we had mentioned before. So what's going to happen on the 18th when actually this kind of goes live to the rest of Now Lifestyle, and why it's important to really take a look at this right now?
Exactly. So on the 18th, like Daniel mentioned, folks, on the 18th, Joel and I will be doing a webinar. That webinar is going to be promoted days in advance, well in advance. Joel is going to promote it heavily days in advance, the webinar that is. We're going to have a packed webinar, and during that webinar, I'm essentially going to do my presentation, very similar to the presentation I was planning to do in San Antonio. There's a video as part of that presentation which explains exactly how it works. And here's the part that you want to pay really, really close attention to, because this is your inside edge, if you will. The link that Joel is going to promote, because by then, before the webinar, there's going to be a link in your Now Lifestyle back office. And I'll tell you exactly where it's going to be. When you log in and you click on Reseller Tools at the top, currently there are, I believe, 2 sub-tabs under Reseller Tools. There's going to be a 3rd sub-tab under Reseller Tools. I think currently it's, one tab is for the Facebook leads. The other tab is for the guaranteed paid signups, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and there's going to be a 3rd tab right there, which says build your, or 10x your business with 10x Blogger, or something along those lines. And when people click on that tab, they're going to see a video. Ultimately, it'll be a recording of the webinar that I do with Joel. Prior to that, there'll probably be like a little sales video or something. And below that video, there's going to be a button. And that button for people to order is going to be a rotator link. Okay, so in other words, when folks click on that, they're going to be taken to a rotator link, which is going to cycle through the order pages of folks who have already purchased the 10x Blogger marketing system for Now Lifestyle. So for example, if you're in that rotator and your turn comes up and someone goes ahead and purchases the product for the $997, well, if you're up in the rotator, then you're going to receive that $500 commission instantly at the moment of sale into your PayPal account. So that's how that's going to work. Now, there are a lot of advantages. Now, hear me out here, folks. There are a lot of advantages to having a rotator. One, it levels the playing field. for those people who don't have, large teams or downlines, it levels the playing field for them because it's a genuine opportunity to put money into their pockets, and people always like that. It gets them fired, motivated. So the rotator is a great marketing strategy for a lot of people. Okay, what this private webinar is about, that all of us are having here, is your ability to bypass the rotator. And so what Daniel and I have talked about is, if you purchase this product, what we're going to do is give you a way to bypass that rotator, so you're not essentially at the mercy of the rotator, but you can actually benefit from a direct link to the order page. So I'm working very closely with Daniel's team to help you do that, to increase your earning potential. We have a rotator on the front end because it's a very attractive marketing strategy for a lot of folks. But in working closely with Daniel, what we will do is we will set you up so that you can, in essence, bypass the rotator with a direct link to the product. Is that, Daniel, what you wanted me to cover there, or?
Yeah, I think also kind of the important thing is when this launches live to the public too, everybody from the public that's watching the webinar, because anytime there's a big major launch of a new product inside a company, everybody wants to get their hands on it. So
yeah.
Anybody that gets the rotator or anybody that gets the 10X Blogger now ahead of time, your name is going to be in that rotator. So that way when people go to purchase the 10X Blogger, people can be giving you direct commissions for that. And I think I'm sure there's going to be questions on this at some point too, Tissa. So maybe just touch on the fact that the rotator specifically does not have to do with the downline, because I know I'm sure that's going to come up at some point. So maybe just like touch on that a little bit. How this is more all of Now Lifestyle, not necessarily just direct downline.
Right. And let me first go back, Daniel, to the point you just made, because I may have been overlooking the obvious, because I'm like, my head is down in all of this, and so sometimes you know how it goes. You overlook the big picture. But I want to emphasize what Daniel just said. Keep in mind again that when this launches on the 18th with this webinar that I'll be doing with Joel, you definitely want to make sure that you are in that rotator. Again, the webinar is going to be promoted very heavily. The rotator link is going to be in the Now Lifestyle back office. Joel will be promoting the link during the webinar. So you absolutely, positively want to make sure that you are in that rotator really as soon as possible, because as I mentioned, the word is kind of getting out. And right before this webinar, there were 2 more orders that came in. So you definitely want to position yourself to take full advantage of the rotator. Now, that's a perfect segue actually into how this rotator works. The rotator is not tied to your downline. So for example, it is quite possible for someone to come along from your team, from your downline, purchase the product, and you not receive a commission from that. That is by design. It is not tied to your downline. And I know at first, sometimes folks will go, well, wait a second, and rightly so. Their first reaction might be, well, if this is one of my team members, then I want to earn the commission from that, which is a fair point. But the other part of a rotator is that you're also benefiting from someone who may purchase the product and they were not on your team. And you still earn a commission from someone who was not on your team. That is the very nature of a rotator. And it ends up working out really well because, like I said, from a marketing standpoint, a rotator is very, very appealing to folks, especially if they don't have, a downline or a large team. But on the other hand, if you're a leader, Daniel and I are certainly willing to work much more closely with you. So that is a point I want everyone to understand, that it is not tied to your downline, but in doing it that way, there are certainly benefits to that as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, maybe the other thing we can talk about too, and this is a very in-depth conversation, so you guys know that Tissa and I had earlier today, and we were talking about all the different ways and streams of income, and just we actually referenced another company that I was part of previously that had a blogging platform that very, very, very rich in content, very just rich in value, focused on education, focused on training. And I had mentioned this in the very beginning, but there's a lot of folks here, aside from Now Lifestyle, there's a lot of folks here that are watching this that are also using something called FunnelX ROI to build your Now Lifestyle business. And as you know, you and I talked about this earlier today, but using a system, like you had talked about, using a system to build your multiple streams of income, to build your business, is a smart thing. And when you're bringing somebody in as a platinum $50 a month member, it really just kind of makes sense. And so we started kind of getting more involved in conversation and more involved about the type of content that we are looking for on this blog, the type of value that we want to provide to people. So yes, there's going to obviously be some health and fitness aspects. Yes, there's going to be make money online, because we don't just want to tell people about an autoresponder, a conference software, a page builder. We want to give people theory and value and principles about driving traffic, about making money online, about having the right mindset, about all these different things that are out there in the online world when you're trying to make money in this space. And one of the other things that we had discussed was, also getting into being able to create multiple streams of income. So what we could potentially do here, and again, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but there's been heavy discussion with incorporating into the blog, not just being able, but giving people the education on multiple streams of income. And then if they want to go down that rabbit hole and they want to learn more about that sort of thing, well, guess what? That could lead people into FunnelX ROI. And if you are a member of FunnelX ROI, you could potentially have your link, your FunnelX link, off of the blogging platform. So again, another way to not only make multiple streams of income, but just a very powerful tool in many aspects.
Yeah, that's the beauty of, that speaks perfectly to the beauty of blogging, because we are able to curate content that is relevant to our audience. And so as an example, like Daniel mentioned, FunnelX is a great multiple streams of income platform. It works. I know it's working for a lot of folks. And so, we can create content that is highly educational in nature, like Daniel said, that, for example, emphasizes, multiple streams of income, not putting your eggs in one basket, all of your eggs in one basket. And, content like that is relevant to a broad audience. Whether if someone's building their Now Lifestyle business, or they're more interested in building their finances and generating wealth, content like that, for example, about multiple streams of income, is extremely relevant to them. And after Daniel and I spoke, and I sent Daniel this one message, and I was like, I got it, because I was thinking how we can, kind of mesh the two together. And there's already so much content on the blog that would be relevant to someone who's interested in multiple streams of income. And there's content that we can create on the blog that's relevant to folks who are interested in MSI. So there's a lot of similarity between the content. There's a lot of content we can create. And then really from a technical standpoint, without kind of geeking out on people here, what I realized after talking to my gremlins is that, every piece of content on that blog has a call to action. You have to constantly, as we know, tell people what to do. You can provide them with all of this value and education, but at the end of it, you have to tell them what to do, which is, click here to do this, right? Well, that's the call to action that accompanies every single piece of content. And there's no reason why, if you're in FunnelX and that's working for you, there's no reason why we can't, make a tweak in our back office where you can change your call to action to be something like FunnelX. So that's an option that we can make available to you. And so now what we've just done is given you a way to leverage all of this content and value that we're pushing out there if you choose now to build your FunnelX business, which of course promotes Now Lifestyle as one of the income streams, right? So there's a lot of flexibility here, and that tremendous amount of content that we're creating can really be leveraged in lots of different ways.
So, Tissa, should I just show them and like basically what the shell of the blog looks like right now?
Absolutely, go for it. Yeah, the one thing I point out whenever someone goes directly to the blog, what you're not seeing here, which is a really powerful part of this, what you're not seeing, what really no one has seen yet, are the lead capture pages that we built for you. We built some really compelling, attention-getting lead capture pages, and when folks opt into those lead capture pages, they are going into your Now Lifestyle autoresponder. So once again, you need to be at that $50 level. You need to have the Now Lifestyle autoresponder. That's perfectly aligned with FunnelX, which also requires the Now Lifestyle autoresponder, the $50 a month. So what you're not seeing here are these never-ending lead capture pages that we constantly create for you based on content. Like, for example, Joel might put out a live stream or a video, and then what we will do is we'll take that and we'll turn that into a lead capture page, and then that's another page that you can promote to build your list with the blog.
Awesome. So let me share my screen real quick, and I just want to kind of give everybody a once over of what the blog essentially is going to look like here. And all right, let me see. Tissa, you can see my screen?
Yep, I can see it, Daniel. All good.
All right. So you guys might remember or might recognize some of these images from this. This is built obviously right into the blog. But you can see here, like this is a post literally that happened a couple of days ago. You have top posts over here. And then you can scroll down. So essentially what's going to happen is anytime that, like we said earlier, anytime that Joel or Now Lifestyle create a post on Facebook, it's going to come right here. So this is the content on here is constantly going to be updated. And obviously you can see all the archives, hundreds, like just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of value. And this is this is the very, very beginning stages right here. But obviously, Tissa mentioned call to action all throughout the blog is going to be call to actions, getting people to join, to sign up. This is a Facebook Live that Joel I think he just did this yesterday or 2 days ago. But there's just so much content on here, and obviously you have the other sub tabs that are up here, up at the top. And what I like is as you're scrolling, these kind of stay here, so you can go in there. But obviously the content that we were just talking about, like the different things like MSI and the training and the education, Tissa, I would imagine that a lot of that stuff is going to kind of morph into some of these tabs that are up at the top here.
Exactly. I mean, this is very much a work in progress that's going to be constantly evolving. As does any blog, and it should. I mean, that's the nature of a blog. It should be dynamic and it should be ever evolving. So a lot of those tabs are going to change as products get rolled out. Tabs will change. So yeah, I mean, that's how all blogs should be. They're constantly evolving to keep your audience engaged.
Awesome. So at this point, I think, why don't we do this? We have, for those that are interested in the blog, if you guys want to be part of this rotator, if you want to get, I would strongly suggest, and trust me guys, I know like it's definitely an investment, but all it's going to take is 2 sales and you're going to have your money back. I can already tell you that for me, I just got going today. I already lost 2 sales because
you did. That's right, you did.
I already lost 2 sales because I didn't sign up right at the convention. So I already.
And you know who those 2 people
money, dude.
are.
I hate it. And you guys know this, man. But for those of you guys that want to get in on this, it's a very smart play, because when this does go live on the 18th, all the people that are going to sign up, you could be positioned right there to get a lot of those commissions. Now, obviously, again, you got to get in where you fit in. If this isn't a good fit for you right now, it's totally understandable. But, you know, for the action takers, for the people that see where this is going, and for the folks that are looking at this long term, I can tell you from experience and being part of other companies that blogs are huge. And when you can provide mass amounts of value to the general public, it's just a win-win, because you know, you can take your blog link, and obviously everyone's going to have their own blog link, right, that they can share whenever they want.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can share that with your email list. You can share then just constantly give people value. Hey, go check out this article that go check out this video, go check out this post, go check out this blog, and give everybody the opportunity. And once people on your list and once people start subscribing to that blog and want more information, they're going to go back, because people get hungry. It takes, I think Eric Worre talks about this all the time, it takes on average 7 to 10 exposures before people make a buying decision. So having something like a blog versus yourself, instead of yourself having to explain to somebody over and over and over again through the point of follow-up emails, broadcast emails, if you had a blogging platform that did all the follow-up for you, provided all the content, all the education, all the training for you, just think about how powerful that is. And we're just kind of scratching the surface here with where this is going. And don't think about, I mean, yeah, you want to, you definitely, you want to think about the 18th and when this goes live and positioning yourself for success. But you also want to think about 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now, once Now Lifestyle and the blogging and everything else really continue to evolve. And even, you know, if you want to think about including Funnel X in there as well, because, you know, I'm pretty sure at this point we're going to find a way to tie that in, based on the leader that Tissa is, based on the leader that David Deacle is, based on the leader that Joel is, and everything else. It's going to make sense. So thinking long term, you know, do you want to be positioned for a lot of success? You know, to me, the answer is yes. So.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm again, because I'm sort of the creator of this, and I'm just like biting my tongue because I am brimming over. You talk about the long-term play here and the vision, and you know, my finger is on the pulse of that, and that is where I get really, really excited, because Daniel, you said it perfectly. I mean, there are two things going on here, okay? You know, we have this webinar on the 18th, you know, with Joel, and it's going to be promoted heavily in advance, and the rotator link is going to be promoted during. And that's great, and you really should position yourself properly. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. You're in a rotator that's really relatively small as far as these things go. We're not talking about like an ad co-op or something. I mean, you're in a rotator and you're positioned well before the word is out. That's kind of a no-brainer. But like Daniel said, let's think a little bit beyond that, because first of all, this rotator link is going to remain in the Now Lifestyle back office, not just up until the webinar. It is going to be a fixture in the Now Lifestyle back office. So anyone and everyone who's coming into Now Lifestyle from here on forward is going to be exposed to that rotator link well after the webinar. So keep that in mind. As Now Lifestyle grows, that rotator has much more exposure, increasing your chances of earning those commissions. One other thing I want to point out, thinking on an even larger basis, and Joel and I have spoken about this, is what we are envisioning is this massive content site where the goal is to make Now Lifestyle or Health and Wealth we want it to be like a household name. We want this to be a go-to resource. And the blog, by the way, by design, it's not branded as Now Lifestyle. It's, you know, it's Health, Wealth, Now. It's a much more generic, all-encompassing, broader approach where we want to catch people who are interested in not just building health, but wealth, not just their physique, but their finances as well. And so we want this to become this massive content-rich authority site. And I'll give you an example of just an example of what we have in mind. There's a site out there that's called Spark People. Okay, and it's this huge site. It gets about 7 million unique visitors every month, and I think we could do better than that. But Spark People gets about 7 million unique visitors every single month, and all they are doing is providing great free content for people who want to get healthy. That's all they're doing. Okay, now they're monetizing it as well with like a whole ton of ads everywhere and so forth. Now in our case, we would be monetizing it with your Now Lifestyle or your FunnelX links, whatever the case may be. But one thing I want to point out, and I haven't really shared this with anyone, I'll be sharing it on the webinar on the 18th, is that already this blog has been ranked by Google. Depending on which day of the week you check, it might be on the first page, it might be at the top of the second page, but already it's been ranked inside of Google, and with all the content that we're going to be putting out there, there's no doubt that it'll become an authority site. Now, those who are in the rotator, what's going to happen inevitably is that people are going to go straight to the blog without having clicked on anyone's affiliate link. It's inevitable. There are going to be orphan visitors, if you will, who have not clicked on an affiliate link, who end up at the blog. It happens right now. And the way we have built this is that if you are in the rotator and someone goes straight to the blog and they click on a call to action and they haven't clicked on an affiliate link, those call to actions are also rotating. So if someone goes straight to the blog, if someone goes straight to the blog and they have not clicked on an affiliate link and they click on a call to action to join either Now Lifestyle or FunnelX, whatever the case may be, as a member of this first rotator we're talking about, we also rotate those call to actions, those links for orphan signups. And if you put that in the context of a site which may be receiving 6 or 7 million unique visitors a month, if Spark People can do it, we can do it. It's not that difficult to do if you have enough valuable content. That is a long-term vision. That's something you have to keep in mind that goes well beyond any webinar with Joel on the 18th, because that can really take things to a whole new level.
So as far as urgency goes, and honestly, I realize that this might be a big ask for my team. And obviously you can give me a hard no if it's a no, but for the folks that are here that are watching this right now, the folks that actually got onto this webinar, if they, obviously if they get the rotator, they get the, the blogging rotator, can they have their own link to get people in prior to the webinar? Like, is that?
Yes. And that is what I alluded to earlier, and I probably wasn't very clear about it, but the answer to that question is yes.
Okay.
So and this does go to the urgency of it, because the fact of the matter is the webinar is on the 18th. So the reality is that the sooner you become a member of the rotator, the sooner that we can give you a direct link that you can share with whomever. So yes, absolutely. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you have your own link that you can share with others, where you're not at the mercy of the rotator, because you're giving them your direct order link. Absolutely.
Okay. So that's more benefits. So that means for you guys that are watching this live, if you sign up for the 10X rotator, you're going to be able to get your own link before the 18th. So therefore, not only can you make some commissions before the 18th, but you can do your team a solid, just like I reached out to you guys. Right. You're going to be able to reach out to people directly that are on your team or wherever and get them into the rotator and, be able to, again, just help more people get more of a jump on this. Because I think when this goes live on the 18th, I think it's going to be a no-brainer, and everybody's here going to be, is just going to be poised for success, which is awesome. Because like you said, right now the rotator is very, very, very small.
It is very small.
Yeah. And it's on the 18th, it's going to grow pretty quickly. So I think this is awesome. I think it's awesome. So what I'm going to do right now is, for those of you guys that are interested in, getting the 10X blogger, getting into the rotator, and using blogging as a platform for yourself to earn multiple commissions, create a lot of value, a lot of content. And you guys aren't actually creating it. The company, Joel, is creating it. You guys are just reaping the benefit of it, which is great.
I was just going to, perfect timing, Daniel. I was just going to interject that very quickly. Keep in mind here, folks, that you are not having to do any blogging. You are not having to write any autoresponder messages. All the content is created by Joel or others or 10x Blogger, and all those follow-ups are sent on your behalf while all the prospects still go into your autoresponder list. So you're still building your list with those prospects.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you guys that are here watching this live, obviously if you catch the replay, you're going to have to reach out to myself or your sponsor and see if they have the if they're into the rotator or not. But for those of you guys that are watching this, in the chat, I just dropped the link. That's to go directly to the sign up page for the rotator. So if you want to become part of this blogging platform, which I highly suggest, if you want $500 commissions paid direct to you, so no waiting once a month. I mean, these can literally be paid out daily, multiple times a day, depending on how many people get into this blogging thing. But if it's gonna go the way that I think it's gonna go, and I've been doing this for a little while now, Tissa's been doing this for a little while now, I can tell you right now that, speaking from past experience, Tissa speaking from past experience, the blog is going to be a major, major benefit for the company. This is something that realistically, just to call it what it is, like, we should have had this from the very beginning. We really should have had this from the very beginning. But as we grow, we evolve, we learn, we get better, and we keep pushing forward. But plain and simple, this is definitely something that's going to benefit the public. It's going to benefit the folks that are involved, and it's going to be a great thing. And I think, again, once we're looking long term, we've already had some of the conversations with David and stuff like that to kind of start the process of potentially integrating Funnel X and things like that into the back office, and educating people on multiple streams of income, educating people on not just, here's your cool autoresponder, it's super cool, but educating people on all of the things that are involved in making money online, giving them all the tools, all the tips, all the education that they need to really be successful. So I think where this is going to go is just going to be awesome.
I agree completely, Daniel. Someone said they don't see the link. I think George said he doesn't. A couple of people said they don't see the link.
Interesting. It says, from me to all panelists.
Maybe are panelists different from attendees and Zoom?
Oh, maybe I sent it to. Hang on. I sent Tissa. I think I just sent it to you.
Oh.
Instead of sending it.
I'd sign up all over again if I could. I think it's
all panelists and attendees. Here we go. Why that? That's just weird. Come on. That's just weird. So let me know if you guys can see it now. So yeah, Sean, I realized that I'm the panelist, but yes. Okay, good.
Okay, all right. Go.
All right. Just wanted to make sure that was going through there.
Yeah, no, well, thank you to everyone who commented, because we may not have known otherwise.
Yeah, no, thank God, because I didn't realize I was sending it just to Tissa. But yeah, anyway, please, at this point, does anybody have any questions about the rotator? Does anybody have any questions about anything that we talked about? Because please, I want to use this platform to, make sure that we answer your questions and
definitely.
Yeah, let you guys know what's going on. I see a hand up. I don't know if that means that you have a question, but how much? It is $997. Jim, I don't know why you still don't see the link, but it is $997 to get the 10x Blogger, and these are $500 instant paid commissions when somebody pays you. So literally just 2 sales and you get your money back. And I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I can almost promise you almost that when we go live on the 18th, those of you that get in now are not only going to get your money back, but you're going to get your money back and then some. Not to mention, for those of you guys that get in now before the 18th, you're also going to get your own sign-up link, what Tissa just mentioned. You're going to get your own sign-up link so you can get this out there ahead of time, and you can maybe even make your money back and then some before the 18th. So.
Right, because keep in mind that when you place your order, it takes us about a couple of days, maybe like 1 to 2 business days, to actually build the system for you, because this is far more than just like a replicated page. We actually do a lot of hard coding to build the entire system for you. But one thing that happens when you order, you are put in that rotator when you place your orders. Like a day or two after you place your order, you're put in the rotator. So you're not waiting until the 18th to be put in the rotator. The sooner you place your order, the sooner we build your system, and then the sooner you end up in the rotator. So you end up basically with your direct link that you can share with your team members that takes them directly to your order form, and that's hard coded to you. So you get those $500 commissions, but also keep in mind that you're also now put in the rotator. So now you have an opportunity to earn those $500 commissions from people who have really no connection to you, other than your link came up in the rotator when they were ready to buy.
I think Sean's asking, you say that everything is placed in the blogger is sent out to the email lists?
Correct. So if you have whatever content appears on the blog is always turned up or turned into a follow-up email that is sent out to your prospects. So no matter how your prospects found out about the blog, let's suppose they're in your now lifestyle autoresponder, or you're using one of our lead capture pages, and that's how they got into your autoresponder. Or maybe you have an existing list. We have a special lead capture page that you can send to your existing list members, and I encourage everyone to do this. It's a specially designed lead capture page for anyone and everyone who you may already have in any lists anywhere. Just send that to them and say, hey, you know what? Opt in here so you can keep up to date with what I'm doing, da-da-da-da-da-da. And now they fall into that follow-up sequence. So every single time there is a new blog post, that blog post is automatically turned into an email that is sent as a follow-up to your prospects promoting your call to action link.
I hope everybody just realized the power.
I know, that is huge. And if you stop to think about it, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Danny. I'm sorry, but go ahead. That's huge.
I just want everyone to realize the power of exactly what you just said. Like, think about like how, and to back up even just a little bit, whether it be with Now Lifestyle or with anything else, for those of you guys that have an email list, whether it's an email list of 10 people or 50,000 people, it doesn't really matter. There's a thing called, and this is where you just need to be a smart marketer, okay? There's a thing called monetizing your list. All right. So instead of marketing the same thing to people over and over and over and over and over. So like if you're just marketing Now Lifestyle over and over and over and over and over again, eventually like your list is just going to get burnt out. Your list is just going to get burnt out. So one of the things that you want to think about is being able to monetize your list. So if you're sending people to a blog to provide them value, and Tissa just said, you're going to have a capture page that you could send to them to say, hey, go check out this amazing blog. It's rich in content and blah, 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 blah. Then that's just one other way to monetize your list by getting them interested in other things that are obviously going to, still make you money.
Yeah, and just think about the time that you're saving, folks. I mean, on average, and I see our databases and the stats and everything. I mean, on average, we are generating 3 blog posts every single day, on average. Some days it's less, some days it's far more. On many, many days, there are 5 or 6 blog posts that we are creating on the blog. Each one of those valuable, compelling, original blog posts means if there are 4 blog posts that appear on your blog today, that means that there are 4 separate email follow-ups that are sent to all of your list members. Those are blog posts and emails that you never had to compose or write. They were instantly sent out as soon as the blog posts appeared. I mean, the time that you are saving, I mean, that is working smart right there. That is leveraging systems, a system to build your business, because it's important. And then the thing is, you really, I mean, Joel talks about this, you have to constantly be doing that follow-up with your prospects multiple times a day. That's how you keep your offer, yourself in front of them. But if you really want to do that properly, it's impractical. You don't have 6 hours a day to do that.
No, nobody does. And even if you had, even if you had 6 hours a day, would you want it? Writing all damn day long? I know I wouldn't. So, I mean, this is, you're capitalizing and winning off of other people creating content for you, which is super powerful. So, guys, any other questions before we wrap this up? I know we're coming up on an hour here. So does anybody have any other questions? I wanted to give, number one, I want to give you guys an inside edge. I wanted to make my team and everybody that's kind of in our circle here, get you guys this information, because this is, in my opinion, going to change the game. It's going to help change the game for a lot of people, and it's going to help a lot of people make it money, especially for those folks that are out there that have, maybe you've been dabbling with NLS for a while and you just kind of maybe haven't made the money that you really wanted or thought you could make. I mean, this is going to help really give you an edge up, which I think is very, very cool. So,
I saw a question. JT, I guess, asked a question. He said, will the capture pages be ready before the 18th? And the answer is yes. As soon as you place your order, give us a day or two to build your marketing system, which includes the capture pages, and the capture pages will then be available to you. So again, the sooner you do this, the sooner the lead capture pages become available to you, so you can start promoting those lead capture pages.
That's awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, you guys are going to have an edge, which is what we wanted to do tonight, is give you guys that edge before we go live on the 18th. And not only that, I mean, you're going to be able to get links that you can start sharing ahead of time. So not only will you get in the rotator, so when everybody else in Now Lifestyle sees this and says, ooh, I want that, you're going to position yourself there, but you're also going to be able to get your link out ahead of time. And, maybe even, obviously, I mean, I think the goal would be to recoup your investment before the 18th and maybe even then some. But it's just, don't just think about now. Don't just think about the 18th. Think about where we're going, like I said, 3, 6, 9, 12, 18 months from now, and what this blog is going to turn into, and really just where Now Lifestyle and obviously, FunnelX and everything else is going to go. You guys are really poised for success, and you guys are in the right position for sure.
I think, just in closing very quickly, Daniel, I think this webinar is a testament to your leadership, and it explains the success that you and so many of your team members are having, because you and I talked, you pretty much orchestrated this webinar, which, as you say, is giving your team members really a fast track and inside edge to benefiting from this. So kind of big picture here, kudos to you, my friend. And folks, I mean, this is a great example, I think, of how hard Daniel works for all of you. I did not approach Daniel about doing this webinar. He said to me, look, can I do a webinar so that my team members have a fast track on this, so that they have an inside edge on this, give them a head start, and here's the webinar. So Daniel, I think it's a testament to how hard you work for your folks. It really is.
Well, we try, man. I mean, we just want to give, it's the same thing that we do in our Skype group. Anything we hear about that's going on with NLS or whatever, and we want to give people that edge and let people know before the masses, before everybody else, then that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, man, other than that, I think we're good. If anybody has any last minute questions, throw them in there now. Other than that, what I'll do is I'll get this webinar replay. I'll probably get it uploaded to YouTube, and then I'll get that out to everybody that obviously couldn't make it here live, because I know, people in different time zones and everything else. So we'll be sure to get this back out. But looks like everybody's good. I don't see any more questions coming in, so I think we're good there. Tissa, my man, Many, many thanks to you, sir.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm learning from you. The more I watch and observe you, but the more I learn from you. So that's what this is all about. We're all working together to help each other succeed, right?
Amen to that, sir. Amen to that. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you guys for being here and checking this out. You guys 100% have the inside edge here. So take advantage, put yourself in a great position, and then we will talk to you guys very, very soon. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can reach out to me, hit me up, reach out to Tissa, whatever, but we'll be sure to help you guys out. Now, keep in mind, for those of you guys that are doing this, again, like Tissa said, just give it 1 to 2 business days.
Yeah.
So he referred to as gremlins earlier. Those are basically the people that do all the coding and all the back-end software stuff. Let them get everything set up for you, and then you can start running with this too. But I think this is going to be a great thing for Now Lifestyle and beyond, and the other things that we talked about too. So cool, man.
All righty.
I'll have a good night. We'll see you soon, and we'll see you on the leaderboard.
Take care, folks.